All right, with summer temperatures soaring, it's not just humans feeling the heat right now. Our pets are at risk as well. From hot pavements to dangerous dehydration, heat-related illnesses in animals can turn serious real fast. Joining us from VEG ER for Pets, Shelby Baden. We have to talk about this because you have pets constantly coming into the ER dying from heat stroke or having heat stroke or having some serious heat-related illnesses. This is sad.
Yeah, it's terrible. I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity for education because these animals are dying. If they come in with a heat stroke, often it's a 50-50 chance of recovery at that point.
And some pets are more susceptible to it than others. You were talking a little bit about like Frenchies and pugs where they don't get the air in as easily as some other dogs.
Yeah, so Frenchies, pugs, English bulldogs, we call it brachycephalic, but the smush-faced dogs.
As cute as it is.
Yeah, they're more susceptible. Obese dogs and dogs that move from cooler climates into Florida as well are more susceptible.
So dogs can get heat stroke just in a matter of minutes. So kind of what are some of the early warning signs that maybe the dog's been out a little too long?
Yes, so honestly, the most common presenting complaint is collapse. They'll be out on the walk and just collapse and not be able to go further. We often see them in respiratory distress as well when they come into the ER. So those are two of the most common signs.
And you had a horrible story where a dog was brought in and died over the heat. How much time do you have if that happens? If you start to see those kind of symptoms, how much time do you have to get them into a cool space, and what do you do?
You honestly don't have that much time. The best thing to do would be to get in your car, turn on the AC on full blast, put your dog in the car and bring them to the emergency vet so we can start corrective measures. At home, really it's pretty difficult you don't want to overcool them because if you drop their temperature too low, you can make them have a seizure. So it's better to have an emergency vet take over.
What are the pets that are kind of at the most extreme? We kind of talked about some of the smushed face dogs, right? But what are the dogs, we were talking about this in break, that are kind of the most at risk here?
Yeah, so definitely Frenchies, English bulldogs, pugs, any dog that has a Brussels Griffon, obese dogs, dogs with a lot of fur, giant breed dogs. Pretty much any dog can have a heat stroke. That's the reality. If you take your German Shepherd out on a 2-mile run in the middle of the day, it might have a heat stroke. So it's just important to be mindful.
Well, we talk about hydration, another thing, sunscreen, time in the shade that we talk about for humans. What do we do for our dogs to prepare them for the day ahead? You want to give them the right water, you want to keep them hydrated too. But what are some steps you can take in the morning hours? They got to go out, obviously, to use the bathroom, but just protecting them, what do we do?
The best thing to do would be to walk them early in the morning after it's had all night to cool down. So around 5 a.m., the most common time we see heat stroke is when people think they're safe. It would be about the 6 to 8 p.m. hour. They think it's cooled down.
Oh, wow.
It hasn't cooled down. That's typically when we see them come into the emergency room.
If you take them out for a walk and you bring them back in and they're really not going for the water or something like that, is that kind of a little bit of a sign there might be dehydration or something funny going on there?
Most of the time they'll come in and they'll chug water and they'll also vomit or regurgitate because they're basically having multi-organ dysfunction. That's what heat stroke is. It shuts down all the organs.
With that in mind, is there a way to slow that down? Because they come in, they lap up the water so fast. Anybody, taking in that much water that fast, they want to, but they don't necessarily know, like, oh, I need to slow down here.
Yeah, I would definitely take the water away and offer it, in small portions to discourage them from chugging water.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
There's some good tips for you.
Yeah.
We're still in the heat here for at least the next 2 or 3 months.
I think it's letting up
keep it in
for
mind.
a while,
So if we want to learn more
Shelby,
about VEG ER, where can we find you on social media?
Yeah, so at VEG ER for Pets on Instagram. We have 4 locations in the Tampa Bay area: North Tampa, South Tampa, Clearwater, and St. Petersburg. So you can come in. We're open 24/7. Call and speak to a doctor anytime.
Shelby, thanks so much for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
With all that in mind, I guess now's the time.